Hey guys, it is January 31st, last day of the month. I've had success before. Um, so it's perfect that Kendra's going to talk to us today about getting successful on the last day of the month. She's going to share some tips and tricks with us on how she does that. I told her like 45 minutes, and then we can open it up at the end if anyone has questions. Of course, put them in the chat, and we can go through those as we go. So I'll watch the chat for you. You just want to do your thing, introduce yourself, kind of tell us about your story, how you got started, and then go into it. And then I can keep an eye on the chat and interrupt you or stop you if there's stuff I think we should talk about, like as we're talking about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Forgive me if I get a little fuzzy here and there, and let me know if I do, okay? Because sometimes my internet's a little bit shady. Hello, everybody. My name's Kendra Stringer. I am a lifetime 2-star diamond, currently diamond. And I've been a coach for about 5 years. I started coaching back when I was working a full-time job. I was a director of an Alzheimer's unit, and I didn't want to be working full-time. I wanted to be working for myself, and I had no idea how people did that. And I was, probably similar story to so many people, a very overwhelmed working mom, 3 kids, and I just wanted to be home with them. I wanted to spend more time with my family. And so I was spending, my mornings very rushed, out the door early to get to the gym, spending, an hour and a half at the gym, and then showering there and going to work, working all day, hitting the grocery store on the way home, and just barely having any time for me or for my family. It so happens that my personal trainer at the gym was also a Beachbody coach. I had no idea, but she, I had like a stubborn, 10, 15 pounds that wouldn't come off. And she suggested that I tried Shakeology, and she told me that I needed more of something I hated, which was cardio. And so she set me up with, doing a cardio program at home, Turbo Fire. And I trusted her, and I committed to the 90-day program. I lost the weight. I was hooked, and I fell in love with Shakeology. And still, after 5 months, I had no idea that coaching was a thing. And I was just chatting with her one day and telling her, gosh, I wish I could have your kind of schedule, the flexibility of working your own hours. And she said, well, why don't you, you don't have to become a personal trainer. Why don't you just be a coach? And I'm like, that's the thing? Okay, yeah, I already love this stuff. Let me give it a try. And so I worked really hard for 1.5 years at both. And, like I already said, I was so overwhelmed and overworked and whatnot, adding something else to my plate just didn't feel like an option, but staying where I was really didn't feel like an option. So I just sucked it up and made it happen, and worked hard for 1.5 years of building up my business on the side, to the point where I felt like I was able to leave my job. So that's kind of my story of coaching.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think so many people can relate, and I think that line is really good, and we could all do a post about that. What'd you say? I didn't want to stay where I was, but what'd you say, that last part? Staying where I was wasn't an option. I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to feel like that overwhelmed, overworked mom who just was super scattered,
Yeah. And it was that long-term vision kept me going, it's it was hard when I was doing it, but yeah, it was just I know I can see down the road, if I just keep doing this and keep grinding, I'm going to get there. And yeah, so worth it. So worth it. So should I just dive in to the?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to be super honest here, you guys. I hate to say it, but more times than I would like to admit, I sometimes find myself at the very end of the month, this close to Success Club. And so this is a topic I can speak on like pretty well. And I feel like, you know, some people just work well under pressure, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, you can get around that by like creating pressure on yourself earlier in the month so you're not under like the real pressure. But I'll just tell you where I'm at right now. Well, first of all, who on has already hit Success Club this month? Sweet, you guys are doing better than me. Okay, I have had 2 points all month long. Day before yesterday, I got another 2, so I'm at 4 points, and I guarantee you I will hit Success Club. So the stuff I'm going to tell you today is stuff I'm going to be using today after this call. So obviously you don't want to rely on this. You want to, like, you know, be consistent, hit Success Club as early as possible, and take the pressure off yourself. But if you find yourself at the end of the month not there yet, here are my suggestions. So these are kind of out of order, so just bear with me. But the first one, go back in. If you're using Facebook Messenger to talk to people, which I do a lot of times, go back in your Messenger. And this depends on how long you've been coaching, but I would say, you know, up to 12 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, go scroll way back and look at old conversations. Who are the people that expressed some interest but didn't say yes for whatever reason? You know, life situations can change like that, and you don't know what their current situation is if you haven't talked to them lately. If they had an interest once before, that they weren't lying to you, you know, so they're probably still interested. So go back and find those people and restart the conversation. You know, because it's the end of the month, all these strategies you're going to need to kind of express a sense of urgency. You know, so I'll give you some strategies on how to do that throughout, but, you know, you don't want to start the conversation with, hey girl, how's it been going? Because that could take a little bit to kind of get things rolling. So you need to, you know, really address the issue. Like, hey, I've been looking through, I have a new group starting up, and I've been looking back through past messages to see, you know, who might, just be transparent, who might be interested in getting back on track with their health and fitness. I remember, you know, 3 months ago, you said you were interested, but couldn't because XYZ. Is this a good time? Like, just kind of come out with it. And then I guarantee you're going to probably, unless you're just like perfect at follow-up, you probably have some conversations that ended before you ever got to the invite. Like, you just dropped the ball somewhere. So maybe, you know, it never even got there in the conversation, and it's time to go back and pick that conversation back up. So those are the 2 things I look for when I'm going back in messengers, who expressed interest before but didn't do it, and what conversations just kind of ended and fell, you know, fizzled out before you ever got there. Number 2, offer incentives to people, especially people that are kind of on the fence. You know, maybe there's just like that cherry on top that they need to say yes. So some examples, you could offer to pay their tax and shipping. You could offer a portion of your commission, whatever you're comfortable with. You know, for me, Success Club is always a goal, sometimes over the money. That's a personal decision you guys have to make for yourself. But if I'm, you know, if I'm at 4 points and I want to hit Success Club, for me, sometimes it's worth it to give up my whole commission on a challenge pack to get the points. So I know, you know, maybe that's a little bit crazy, but that's kind of how I roll. So sometimes, you know, if that's going to make the difference for somebody, I'll just put it out there. Let's see, you can offer a gift card to help cover their groceries. So, you know, you can just let them know you're going to probably have to like throw out some of your junkier food and go grocery shopping for healthier foods. So let me give you a $25 gift card to help with some of that shopping. Or maybe offer a personal development book. You can get those online, you know, Amazon So that's really easy. Or make that, you can make that a part. So what I'm doing right now for my next challenge is it's a love yourself challenge, and we're going to be doing like a book club as part of it. So we're going to be reading together You Are a Badass. And if you haven't read that yet, you totally should. It's really good. But so I've offered I had like 4 copies of it just because I bought them for like prizes or whatever. And so I just put it out there. The first 4 people to sign up for my challenge are going to get a free copy of the book, and I'll just mail it to you. So that's always a good option. So the next one is money objections, kind of how to break down some of those, because you may, as you're talking to people, you might get some of those. Ask if they know 3 people that might want to join them. So, if somebody's saying, oh gosh, and you feel that they really would love to do it, I would love to be in your challenge group, but I just can't with the money right now. Just ask them, well, I can tell that you really want to do it. Do you know anybody else that you could get to do it with you? Because, if you get 3 people, that's going to cover your cost right there. So that's a good way to do it. A lot of times they'll have like, oh yeah, I have like my best friend and my sister and whoever, and they just haven't even thought of that as an option. So give them options that they haven't even considered before. Break down the daily price. I'm sure you guys know to do this, but just in case, if you forget, this works wonders. When people hear, $130 up front, it's like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But when you say, okay, what are you spending right now on breakfast? Do you go and get Starbucks coffee? Like whatever. $4 a day is not a big deal, really, when people think of it in those terms. And then this one isn't going to help you with Success Club this month, but if people are really expressing that they're interested, but the money is just, they can't see the value right now, downgrade to Clean Week. Like, don't just take the no and move on. Let them know that there are options, that they can still try this out, because, more times than not, if somebody takes Shakeology for a week and starts feeling the benefits of it and sees like how cool BOD is and all that, they're going to upgrade to a challenge pack next month. So there's your points for next month. So just don't get so stuck on your points that you forget that there's other options that are going to take you down that road for next month. I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm not going to have 35 or 45 minutes.
No, you're good. Does anyone have questions so far that you want to unmute and kind of ask? Anything more in depth on any of that? Kate.
I do. So you mentioned that maybe giving back some of your commission. How do you actually do that? Do you send them a check? Because, I do like gift card promotions and things like that to help offset costs. But your specific comment about commissions, how do you do that?
I would just, talk to the person how it would work for them. If they're local to you, you can just give them cash. If it's, they have PayPal, is always easy. Just whatever. And I know that there's a limit, right, Teresa, on how much cash we can give people. Is it $25?
I'm not sure. I was just thinking about that as far as compliance goes. We'll have to look into that. But you could always do an Amazon gift card, and I think that would probably be.
Yeah, I want to throw out that disclliner that there is a thing about that. So, just maybe look it up for yourself. But that said, if you're kind of talking one-on-one with somebody and you're on the download, I'm sure it's not going to come up. So I wouldn't worry too much.
Also, all the Success Club prizes, I have a whole closet full of stuff I've gotten from Beachbody events or Super Saturdays or for Success Club prizes or for finishing a program. And I just save them all, and I have extra PD books. So I'll just look an inventory and be like, okay, what can I do this month? I have got a daily sunshine blanket. I have a Team Beachbody backpack. I have just a bunch of stuff that I save because how much Beachbody stuff do I need? I've got 20 Team Rockstar Fit shirts, you know? So I just started saving that stuff and using that as my promotional giveaways. If you say like, I need 2 more people to join my group, the last 2 people to join will get and then look see what you have on that. And then it doesn't break the bank either.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. When you said that you like do follow-ups, I was doing that last night. Like I went through old conversations for people that have been interested in the past. And I probably sent like 15 messages out, and now I have crickets, like no responses. So I guess like obviously I don't want to keep nagging them, but I want to hit Success Club.
Are they, like, do you feel like there are people that you've had conversations and have expressed interest, or is it kind of like you're coming out of the woodwork?
No, these are all people that have like expressed interest in the past, and then I like created a group where I had put like videos that I'd made about like my challenge groups and things like that. And so like they've expressed interest in the past, but then just never for different reasons. So I went back and I said, you know, this is whatever reason of why you weren't able to commit before. Just wanted to like follow up with you again. And now I have nothing.
And I would suggest you don't go back to them right now. Because yeah, you don't on the last day of the month want to just be like harassing somebody that hasn't responded back, like with multiple messages. You'll turn them off and not ever get them to join you. So I would, just put it out there like you did and see what happens, see if anybody comes to you. And if not, just know that you're creating momentum now that is going to roll through next month and probably the next month too. So yeah, you don't ever want to get to the point where you're like annoying people, because that's not going to do any good.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything, Teresa? Or?
No, I think I agree with everything. I listened to a good training yesterday that I'll add at the end, just about kind of having one product that you feature on social media a day, but not showing like, say this is Energize, not showing the label Energize, but it was from Jatana Jackson. It was in the roundtable. It was such a good training. So maybe I'll recreate that and share it with you guys, because I definitely learned a lot and I think it would be helpful. Who doesn't feel like they talk about any of our products enough and just talk about, challenge packed conversations? Like, I have to do a better job of sharing Energize and shit, but you don't have to call it Energize. You can call it, she calls it mom crack. I call it superhuman juice or whatever. But then creating that curiosity too, so that people want to start a conversation with you, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of you having to start all these conversations if you're getting people interested in what it is you're drinking or doing, instead of like Shakeology pictures or Energize pictures, but making people think like, what is she doing? Like, she shared a picture on her story of her hair all messy. It was like 5 a.m. She had the time. She had the Energize flipped with the label backwards, and she was dumping it in like super tired. And then like the next 2 were like, the next one was her working out, and then the next one was her like dancing around at like 40 minutes after she took it. And so that would make someone question like, what are you drinking? Like, I need some of that, especially if it's a mom that's super tired and have energy to work out. So thinking about how we can start talking about products more that are going to make people reach out to us to ask us like, what is that, in a creative way that's not super salesy. Like, you need to rebrand our products to your own brand. Like, call it whatever you call it. If you call it Superhuman Juice, or you call it Mom Cracker, you call it whatever, rebrand our products towards your own brand and make people question what it is. So that was, I thought, really valuable. And like, gosh, even sharing just other products, that gets conversations started. And that's where a lot of people struggle.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And yeah, like, the thing is, like, all these strategies that I'm talking about really aren't going to work if you haven't been creating all that stuff in the back. Like, on the front end or the back end, whatever end that is. Like, you know what I mean? You've definitely got to be out there in the public eye and starting to build relationships and people interested in you already before any of this stuff will even be able to work. If you're just going in cold and trying to do any of the stuff I'm talking about, you're gonna probably be met with crickets. So always, like that's our front line that we have to be doing. And I haven't watched that training yet, but it's been dropped into my team page too, and I'm excited to check it out. I've heard it's really good. Okay, I've got a few more. The next one is, have you already talked to your like close friends and family members? So I'm going to tell you, I don't know why I was like more scared to talk to those people that are close to me than I was to like total strangers. So if you haven't done that yet, it's time to reach out to your close friends and your family members and ask them to try your products. So I think a really good strategy, like if you don't want to be salesy with those people that you're close with, is to just ask for their support. Just say, whether you've been in the business for a while or whether you're brand new. If you're brand new, you can just say, hey, I just started this new business and I'm super excited about it. I'm really loving the products and I just need some support. And so would you be willing to give, this shake a try for 30 days? If you don't want to go past 30 days, it's no big deal, but I would really just love your feedback on it. And if you have a good experience with it, maybe you could just give me a testimonial that I can use to help grow my business. If you've been in the business a while, you can say pretty much the same thing. Just, I've been doing this a while and I'd love your feedback. I could always use new testimonials. Can you just try it out for 30 days? So, the thing is those people that are close to you want to support you and they want to help you. So whether or not they end up using it long-term, that's not really the point or the goal. I mean, hopefully they'll fall in love and they'll use it too, because it's going to help them and it's going to make them healthy. But, again, we're kind of looking at strategies to get your points at the end of the month. And those are people that you can tap into if you haven't yet. Also, this one's kind of, I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out there because I've done it. I don't know if it is legal. It is legal, but it feels a little funny. But anyways, there is a rule where 3 household members can use the same credit card. And so, like, my husband gets Shakeology because he drinks it. Okay, so that's one thing. Here's my suggestion. If you, for example, could use some extra packets to give out as samples, maybe you can buy your Shakeology packets rather than from your account. Buy it from somebody else in your household under, a new account or whatever. So I've been desperate for points on the last day of the month before, needed some stuff anyways, and created an account for my son and bought through my son's account. So that is a way that you can get your last couple of points. If you need something, and you're not breaking that like more than 3 people in the household rule, you're good to go. Just something maybe you haven't thought of before. Kelly, my son is 16. I don't know how old they have to be. Not a coach, just a customer. So you guys may or may not know about the new-ish rule with Success Club points. So it used to be that we could only get points from people like once ever, and then we'd have to move on to new customers, always brand new people. They've changed that so you can now get points again from customers after 6 months. So a really great thing to do is to go back to old customers, maybe who used Shakeology in the past and loved it, but then stopped. Go back to them and see if they're ready to restart. We're at the beginning of the year and a lot of people are having those New Year health goals. So go back to those old customers, and also check out your Beachbody On Demand only customers and see if they'd like to try Shakeology. So those are a couple options for older customers. Also, there is a form, and I was going to have this pulled up and I didn't do it, but we can drop it in later for you. There's a form called the Memory Jogger. If you haven't seen that before, it's really helpful. Just to it just jogs your brain on, who are some people that I know that I haven't thought of, that you can start some conversations with them. And then the last thing I have is if you have hit Success Club in the past and gotten customer leads, sometimes we don't notice them going into our back office. So you may have free customers that have been dropped into your back office that you haven't connected with. And those are people who clearly already have an interest in Beachbody because they've signed up. So if you hit like Success Club 5 and you've gotten some free customer leads, those are people who have signed up for either a free account or Beachbody On Demand. And so they're interested in getting healthier already. So they just need to hear from you and know that you exist, know that they have a coach. And then, perhaps they want to get started on Shakeology or Challenge Pack or some of the different options that they don't even know exist yet. Those are the tips that I have. Any more questions? I saw the chat going, but I don't know what was happening there.
I have a quick question.
Awesome. Oh, you go, Jen.
Sorry, I'm listening while I'm at work, but I have a quick question. So I started coaching in June, and I have thankfully hit Success Club every month, and I've hit SC10 every month. So this month I'm at 8, and I'm freaking out. Like, what are the big differences between hitting 5 and 10? Like, should I be freaking out, or should I be going crazy?
I would say you shouldn't be freaking out, but you should know that there is totally like a lot of day left, and you can totally do it. And so no, don't freak out, but like, yeah, you should make that a goal for sure. If you've hit it every month so far, that's awesome. You don't want to end that streak.
Jen, just think, her good friend, her coach was a free coach lead of mine that I connected with because I email all my coach leads and customer leads once a week, just so I don't miss them. And I got a free coach lead, which was Jess, her coach, who is now a diamond coach on my team. And I know if I wouldn't have reached out to her, she probably wouldn't have been connected with the team, wouldn't have been on the path that she's on now. So make sure you're really taking the time to know your business, know that you have those free people dropping into your customer list and your coach list if you are hitting Success Club 10. Also, there are things that you have to do in order to qualify to get free coach leads in addition to hitting Success Club 10. So make sure to check out the FAQ for free coach leads or free customer leads. Make sure you have all of those things checked off the list. Seriously, something super minor could be preventing you from getting free coach leads.
Teresa, do you have a template that you use to send your leads, like a template email or something?
I do. Mm-hmm. I can share that. And then I also shared, my assistant just sent me our Success Club update for our team, and I hit Success Club. I was like, yes! But I sent out an email yesterday to every customer in my first CBC, every customer in my second CBC, and my husband's business center. I made graphics, and I use MailChimp, but you don't have to. You can just use Gmail, and I'll share all the graphics that I used. It's like 5 graphics, looks super clean. I made them in Canva first, and then I pull them over to my email, so it looks really nice and professional. I'll share all of those graphics with you guys in Team Rockstar Fit too, and if you want to just shoot out an email blast, you don't know if you got a coach on your team quit and you inherited all their customers, you need to get them plugged in with you because they have the potential of being a really awesome coach, but they never will see their potential if they're not plugged in you as their coach and get into a challenge group and, You know, that's what pays for paying attention to that Coach Online office and always running a new report of your customers and coaches. Because you could be
So,
missing out.
Teresa, on that, so I email every single new coach that comes through, like or not new coach, but customer. And if you don't get a response, because I have a couple people in my challenge groups that actually came from that and they're awesome. But if you don't get a response, do you email them again? Like I've done it. I usually send at least 2 emails, but then I don't really reach out after that.
You can. What I do, I don't. So with the free leads, I individually email them. But what I would do is just email them all like a mass email. Like I'm going to try to do it. I'm not the best at it, but once a month, just saying like, hey, this is what I have going on this month. If you want to join, shoot me an email back and we'll get you connected. Just so they know that you do have something available for them to join if they want to, because my biggest fear as a coach is like somebody saying like, my coach didn't support me. And then I can always say like, I have tried to reach out, you know, and I've let all my customers know what I have available and stuff like that. That's why I hate when it says do not contact under people I know, like my challenge groups, because I'm like, can't see their email. But I definitely think just shooting like a mass email from your Coach Online office and just say, hey, I get it, life gets busy. I wanted to connect with you after the craziness of the new year and let you know I have a challenge group starting this date. If you want to join, just reply to this email. Something really easy.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But yeah, if they don't respond, I don't know. I would just keep them on your mass mailing list instead of, I don't know. It's so hard.
Okay, because I've been getting a ton of traction on my Instagram stories, and it's a lot of people that are like, oh, I actually have a coach, but they don't run a group. Or I love watching your stories because you're so motivational and you just had a baby. And but they already have BOD. They already are doing things. And I feel bad like saying you should switch to me if you're watching my stuff. But I think that's what I'm going to do is just say like, is your coach running a group? And if they are, connect with them. But if they're not, you know, then by all means I can try to help you. But
yeah, you know. I do that all the time. And I mean, I'm like totally not about like taking customers from whatever, but if they're not supporting their customer and their customer wants to be involved, they have every opportunity to switch to you if you want. There's a lot of coaches in the network that sign people up to get the commission and don't do anything with them after that. And they don't deserve to have customers if that's how they're going to treat them. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and there's also coaches who, you know, when they signed up, they were gung-ho, and then they have lost steam over time, and they're not really working the business anymore, but they still have customers. So, yeah, I think just having a conversation, like, you don't want to steal, but you want them supported.
Yep, for sure. Jane, I use MailChimp because when I had that post go viral, I had like 400 emails in one day, like 400 people filled out my Woofu form thing. So I needed a way to be able to mass email these people. And you can't email that many people in Gmail, and I didn't have their emails in my Coach Online office because it was just a Woofu form. So I had to have a third party. I also like it because I can make graphics and plug them in there. And in the new Coach Online office, I don't know if they've changed it yet. Maybe they have, but you can't send pictures in the email like you used to be able to. So that kind of sucks. Jen, I've got a patient waiting. Funny. So that's why I do it. And it's really easy. And I also do the newsletter for the Hockey Association. So I use that for that too.
Maybe I missed you saying this, but did you say you just like upload your customer list into MailChimp?
Yep.
And you have like your Beachbody list in there? Okay.
And then I also, I use Typeform or Woofu, whatever you guys use, or Google Forms. And I take all the emails from there too and upload those to my Beachbody customer list, even though they're not customers yet maybe, but I still want to get my stuff.
Awesome.
That's definitely been something I had to build on, and super unorganized for a long time, and I finally got my stuff together in that department.
Awesome. Did anybody else have any questions?
I wanted to share real quickly before we jump off. I recreated the Wednesday worksheet. I don't know if I talked about this last Wednesday or not. Did I? I don't know if it was on this call or on my team call. But anyways, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. Trina ran a group with the diamond level coaches in Team Rockstar Fit, and we filled out a Wednesday worksheet every single week. So what this is basically a snapshot of your business. Every Wednesday, your numbers are going to be the highest that they are all week because the week starts over tomorrow. So basically, this helps you get to know like where the numbers are coming from in your business, who's contributing to those, what your volume looks like, what your carryover volume is. And basically, the goal is to be making $1,000 a month. That was like her goal of this. We called it the $1,000 club. I don't know what we called it. Something to do with $1,000. But anyway, so it tells you how to look up each of these different categories. So top volume producers, and then you want your top 5 volume producers in the number. Top Success Club producers, and this is in your entire downline, not just your PS coaches. So your top 5 Success Club producers and their number. The reason for that is if somebody's like always rocking it or always on this list, like shoot them a message and say, hey, you're always on the top of my list on my Wednesday worksheet. Like, what are you doing to hit Success Club? Maybe you want them to speak on your team call. Maybe you whatever. You want to be in touch with those people because they're contributing to your income. And then your personally sponsored coaches with at least 1 Success Club point. And the reason for this is when you start to shoot for Premier or Elite, if that's ever a goal of yours, and to also climb on the leadership ladder, you want your personally sponsored coaches getting Success Club points of any kind, not necessarily just hitting Success Club 5 or 10, but even with 1 point, that counts towards points on the leadership ladder and for Premier and Elite. So starting to recognize those numbers right away before maybe you're there yet. And then this side is monitor my business. So it tells you like your business snapshot, how to find it. So left leg volume, right leg volume, and then also carryover volume, what you have on your left leg, what you have on your right leg. So it just kind of lets you look at your business and say, wow, I didn't realize I have that much carryover I'm sitting on. Or, wow, I didn't realize that this person is constantly at the top of my Success Club or volume producers in my downline, and I didn't pay attention to it because they're not in my direct team, but they're still contributing a lot to your income each week. So to know who those people are and like to form friendships with them and stay connected is really helpful. So anyway, I'll share this in Team Rockstar Fit. I'll share my graphics from my newsletter or my email I sent yesterday, and then my lead template email. I'll share that too in Team Rockstar Fit.
I would suggest you guys too doing the Wednesday worksheet, even if you have a very small team already. It's such a good way to like get super familiar with like going in and checking those business things in your back office and getting really familiar with what volume is, like how it looks and the way that it builds. And like, it's a teaching tool for you as well. So yeah, I found that super valuable and I love that you redid it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I think a lot of people thought that like, gosh, I know what my left leg and right leg volume is each week. And I know which one, which coaches hit Success Club, but to like actually dig like Kelly Ryan's in my downline. And I didn't realize that until we started doing this. And she's like always at the top of the volume board and Success Club. Like she's always adding new coaches, and I try to catch it whenever she does and shoot her a message and say like, congrats on adding your new coach this week. Because not everybody has like really awesome sub teams that they're a part of. And some people feel like they're lacking that support. And I think like if we can all just wrap our arms around each other and help support and uplift each other when we see people doing awesome things in their business, it's just helpful. I have a question off topic for those of you who have a husband in the business. You run your husband's business. How do you
I have muted myself. Do you want me to read it? Should we ask it?
Sure, yeah.
So I signed up in August, And then I signed my husband up so that I could make SE points that month. His account kind of just sits there. So he's sitting there as a discount coach. How do I run my business, which I'm still kind of learning to do, and run his at the same time?
I'm happy to answer that.
Okay.
So I would, this, you know, and then Teresa, weigh in after me and give your opinion as well. Yeah, it's super smart to have your husband in one of those top 2 spots in your business. So if you guys, anybody hasn't done that yet, I would really recommend doing that. And I think it's perfect that his business is sitting there as kind of a placeholder, as a discount coach for now, until you build up your business, like to diamond or potentially even beyond that. You may want to use his business as one of your emeralds, getting you to diamond, but above and beyond that, you probably don't want to do a whole lot with it until you're a little further along into the business. I mean, down the road, you know, you could get his business to diamond to get you to, you know, 2-star, 5-star, whatever the case may be. But I would not even focus anything really on it until you're kind of like close to diamond. Do you agree with that, Teresa?
I rarely add to Eric's downline right now, and he's at the top of my weak leg. So what I did, I got him to Emerald so he'd start earning a team cycle bonus because he's sitting on a ton of carryover volume. And I eventually want to start building his team. He's almost to diamond, but I add coaches over there that are like good friends of ours or people who I know maybe don't want to run with the business right now. The reason is I don't want somebody to get stuck over there and be like on a dead leg, me knowing that I'm not building. So the one coach that I do have that was our nanny this summer, she's on Eric's strong leg. So she's getting all that volume still from everybody who's been added to my weak leg since then. So she's in a great spot, but other friends of ours that are discount coaches, like my dad and my cousin, are on his weak leg, but I'm slowly trying to build him to diamond. He's got 1 emerald and 4 coaches on. So he just needs an emerald and he'll be diamond. But I really, truly do not focus on growing his because I want to grow mine to, you know, till I'm 15, solid 15-star. I don't want to really give away coaches or be adding potential business builders in a secondary CBC when I could be capitalizing more on my first business center, if that makes sense. My own second business center literally is like a very fragile diamond. Like I don't fall out of rank often, like very rarely in my second CBC, but it's barely hanging on at a diamond because I'm still focusing on my first business center. And some people may disagree with that theory, but I don't know. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I do. I think it's smart to get your husband's business to emerald, like you said, to earn that cycle bonus. In my case, my husband I didn't have a strong leg and a weak leg when I placed him, and so I just placed him. And that ended up being my strong leg, which is kind of a bummer, but it's okay. You know, it's like you never can predict exactly how your business is going to grow. So yeah, my husband's business is sitting on a ton of carryover too. Like I calculated out the amount of money if I was to be able to cash it out. It's like over 40 grand. It's crazy that money can just be sitting there like that. But that said, there's still better places for me to be growing than growing his business right now. So it's kind of like it becomes an individual situation. So
definitely. And I also think like once your husband or spouse gets to emerald, unless they're capping out on that $200 a week in team cycle bonus, which will take a while, as an emerald, so you can only get $200 in team cycle bonuses a week as an emerald coach. What you can do is sponsor coaches from your first business center and place them under your spouse's weak leg and grow that. So your first business center cycles from that volume and your husband's business center cycles from that volume. that's another way to capitalize on the income. Placement really is crucial, you guys. It's very confusing and it can be like daunting, but really pay attention to where you're putting coaches once you're past diamond, I would say, because you can really capitalize your income, especially at 2-star, or if you're working your husband's business or trying to get that income up there. Ask questions about it. Watch YouTube videos. I still get confused sometimes, but you can definitely work it.
Yeah, I mean, I tell my team just, truly when you're like, until you're to diamond, you probably really don't even get it. And that's fine. That's just how it is. Just reach out like personally every time you're about to add a coach and ask, can you look at my business and tell me like, where's the best place to put this person? Because I know like all of us as like the upline diamond coaches we will never mind that question. It's going to help everybody. So.
Right. And we talked on my team, like a couple coaches noticed like that they accidentally placed people on like inside legs unintentionally and didn't really realize it until it was too late. And so, if you do that, it's not the end of the world, but you definitely want to pay attention to that genealogy and where your people are falling, so that doesn't happen. But if it happens soon enough in your business, you can just switch your legs, and focus your growth on that inside leg versus what you would typically do on the outside leg. But you're going to make mistakes. This whole business, I feel like, is trial and error and falling on your back. And as long as you're on your back and you can see up, you can get up. So.
Teresa, I have a question because Carrie and I were talking about this yesterday. So my husband, I don't even have anybody under him. I haven't had to make him emerald, but I have an 18-year-old son, and we were talking about maybe putting him under my husband on the outside. But maybe it would be smarter if I want to get to Premier for me to put him somewhere where I can get SC points from him, because so many of my coaches are beyond the window for Premier, to help me. Is there more value in that? I don't.
You want to place him where he has the highest income potential. So, like if you think down the road 10 years and you want him to be able to like really be making money just like as extra doing this, but still like helping you in your business. I just think of Lindsay that way always says like, this is a legacy, like not just for me, not just for my husband, not just for my kids, but like my grandkids and their kids. So, gosh.
Because I originally had made my brother a coach to save a spot for when my son turned 18. But then when Carrie and I were talking about it, we weren't sure if we should put him in that spot. I don't know.
I would ask Trina, honestly, just because like I haven't been in that position and I don't know. You want to put him where he'll benefit the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then the only other thing I got in late, but I just want to mention to you guys, for SC points, you guys are looking at the people who are coming up with expired all access, correct? Because that should be the first place you guys are going. You just reach out to somebody and you say, hey, you're about to expire. Just so you know, Beachbody sends them a message 14 days before their all access is going to expire. So most likely, if you reach out to them a week before and I just did this yesterday. I have a woman that's about to expire on the 7th. I know she's been off of Shakeology. I know she wants to get Shakeology again. And I said, hey, Kathy, you're about to expire for your all access on February 7th. If we cancel that auto and you want to do 80-day obsession, you're going to get a way better deal on the Shakeology. And she's like, oh, yeah, do that. So remember, that's 2 Success Club points. And it's super easy to fill that form out. So I should tell you this because I ran into this issue. There's a form you can fill out that you can be the person, because they don't ask you for any credit card information. And it's a form, I can drop it in here. It's you go to the bottom and it says cancel Beachbody on demand. And then it says that it's going to be canceled within 24 to 48 hours. So with this person, she still has access to it until February 7th. If she wants to purchase that challenge pack so she doesn't lose any Beachbody On Demand time, you actually have to do a chat and tell them to like clear it. Otherwise, it doesn't allow the share cart to work. It will work on your end, but when they go to try to purchase it, it's going to tell them, it's a safety net. It's going to tell them that they already own it. Okay? So if that happens, you just got to go into a chat and you have to say this person canceled on X date, their renewal, and they want to purchase an all access challenge pack. The person will clear it, and then they should be able to go through and purchase that, and you should be able to get your Success Club points. Just wanted to share that.
Jane, so this is people who are BOD only, they haven't had Shakeology, or what?
No. Well, the best example, well, there's two examples I've used actually. Let's say it's a person who's BOD on Shakeology, and now they're like really intrigued by 80-day obsession. I say, hey, you want to go all in? You should do the 80-day obsession with the performance line. Let's get your nutrition set and let's get you going. And then boom, they're going to do a new challenge pack for all access that includes Energize the Stack. So that's one option. The other option is the person who's not been doing any performance or anything. That person, you say, you want to get into to 80-day obsession. This is the perfect opportunity. You can get a month of Shakeology to jumpstart your nutrition and get you going for $180 instead of paying the $99 plus the $129. It's a no-brainer for them. You just approach it, I want to save you money. Hey, this came up on my radar. We don't have a lot of time. I want to save you money. This is, and then you just tell them. Who doesn't want to get, basically, they're basically getting Shakeology for $80 instead of $130, if you look at it that way.
I love that line right there too. I mean, that's gold. Just saying, I want to save you money.
That's how I've started every single one. Hey, it's usually a text. Hey, just want to tell you that we're coming up on this expiration point. You probably got an email from Beachbody. They're really good about that. I can help you save money. This particular woman is like, yeah, please fill out that form and let's take care of this in the next couple days. So, once you get permission to cancel that auto renew, you are golden, in my opinion. Hopefully, as long as you follow up, you're golden. I hope that makes sense.
Do you do that once a week?
Pardon?
When do you go? Like, do you do that once a week or every day?
I have that. It's a report that Beachbody sends you. You don't ignore that report. It gives you that expiration date. I have it sitting on my desk. And then I pretty much look at them. Most people are going to make an action within 7 days of that expiring, especially if they're using the Beachbody On Demand. Now, if it's a different,
I totally ignore it. I totally look at that email and don't do anything with it.
But here's the thing that we should talk through, Teresa. Is there any advantage for a VIP? I was thinking about that. I had somebody yesterday and I was trying to think about that. So what would be their advantage? There isn't one, right?
Discount coach?
Pardon?
As signing up for a discount coach at that time, you mean?
No. Like if it's a VIP coach that has their all access expiring, they can't purchase another challenge pack, right?
No.
So there is no advantage, right? Can you think of anything?
Mm-mm.
Can they do refresh with all access? Could they do refresh with all access?
Probably. I think.
As a challenge pack? I don't think so. I think I just looked that up yesterday.
Isn't there a $140 challenge pack with refresh or no?
It's with Shakeology.
But as a discount coach, they can't order any challenge pack.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no, I guess there's no advantage for them. Anyways, that's my little tip. And I had a big month last year, January, so I have so many people renewing. Well, right now, at the end of this, or February, a lot of people are renewing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We should be on that. Cool. All right. Kelly, yes, I'll upload this. It has the instructions on there.
I saw it at the, sorry you guys, I have the flu. I'm sorry. So I looked at the top on that, and like that only gives you your sponsorship drill down. Am I correct? I want to like see like how Kate is not my personally sponsored. She's not one of my personal, she's not even like in my sponsorship drill down. But she's in my full genealogy. And I know in our old coach office, I used to be able to see like when I did my full genealogy export, I could see her volume, her Success Club points, and give her recognition for that. I can't find that on the new one.
Okay, let me
And you can play with it. You don't have to give me an answer right now, but
look, and then I'll
This has been a question that's come up. I've heard it before, and I haven't heard the answer.
okay.
I don't know if it's I mean, it has to be somehow, right?
I know. I've played around with it and exported and like tried everything, and I can't figure it out, which sucks because like, I mean, they contribute to a volume, so they deserve the recognition.
right. I'll figure it out.
Okay. If not,
Yeah, weird. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Kendra. That was awesome. Good conversation. Every time you plug in, you learn something. So thank you. I'll put the recording up as soon as it uploads to YouTube. All right. Bye.
Thanks, guys.